Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. I am right exactly on time. I'm going to invite some people here really quick. If you are joining me, please invite your team. I'm just going down the list and inviting everybody. Wait till I see a few people hopping on to get started. I have almost no concept of how long this is going to go on today, but I have a whole bunch of stuff to tell you guys, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. And I hope that even if you're not planning to attend convention this year, that you'll learn a few things to help you get there next year. So this is going to be really fun. So make sure you get your peeps invited here. Hey, Selena. Hey, Molly. Hello, hello. Hopefully I have enough battery to make it through this broadcast. It's been a very battery heavy day today. And I knew it was going to, and it is what it is. 5 people. Come on, people. Okay, so hi, Tiana. I'm just going to tell you really quick what we're going to do here. I have a lot of stuff to say, and I hope that you have a notebook handy and something to write with, because I think you're going to want to jot some of this stuff down. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to jot some of it down. And I'm also going to encourage you to do a couple of tasks and post some proof that you've done it in the comments. So first I'm going to tell you all about convention and try to paint a really pretty picture that will get you as excited as I am to talk to you about convention. When I sat down to make the notes for this, I got really excited, I think, for the first time about going to New Orleans. Like, I'm always excited to go to convention. But hey, Cade, but I don't know, like, it just made it really real making these notes for you guys. So so that's what we're going to do first. You're going to need a pen and paper because I'm going to ask you to jot some stuff down. Obviously, if you're driving, I don't need you to jot anything down. You can come back to this later, so don't do that. Hey, Sarah. And like I said, I'm going to give you a ton of information that is going to help you whether you're going to convention with us this year or you're, planning for next year. I have a couple of things to say about that too. So there's going to be a few points when we're having this conversation where I am going to make some statements that I know for most people are going to cause a little bit of internal dialogue to happen that's not necessarily positive. And so I'm going to call you out on that. So I hope that that doesn't bother you, but I want you guys to start to recognize when you're having some negative talk in your head. And sometimes it just means somebody needs to say, what's going through your head right now, and point it out to you. I think it's helpful. And I think it's going to help you to sort of change that sort of automatic tape that we all have that plays in our heads. I also want you to take a second and consider your relationship with money. Do you have an abundance attitude about money, or do you have a scarcity attitude about money? And if you want to delve deeper into that topic, there's a great book that a whole bunch of us I know have already read, and it's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And she talks a lot about your personal relationship with money and where that comes from in your life and how to go about changing it so that you're attracting positive energy and money to you. It's super important for yourself and your business and your life in general for you to really understand that the money is out there. There's enough for all of us, and really understand that when you have negative feelings about money, all you're really doing is attracting more of that negativity to yourself. So you want to work really hard on having a positive attitude about finances in general, even when it's difficult. And I know that it gets that way. Are you guys inviting people? Because there's only 4 of us on right now. I'm surprised. But that's okay, because people are going to watch this on replay. But this is one of those things where I feel like if people hop on in the middle, they're going to miss some stuff. Like, I really want everyone to hear that part about really working on having an abundance attitude towards money. Thank you, Selena. Okay, so let's start by just talking about what actually happens at convention. Like, what is it? What do you do? What happens when you go there? I get that question a lot. And I'm actually really grateful for having had the 2 experiences of going the last 2 years. Because prior to that, my only experience with conventions was when I worked for a debt collection attorney. So as you can imagine, our conventions were not the super fun, rock show conventions that Unique has by any means. So you've got your ticket, you've got your hotel room reserved, you are going to convention and you get on the plane, right? And you're looking around at the airport and you're starting to kind of see people like, hey, that girl's wearing purple. That girl's got purple hair. I wonder if maybe they're going to convention. And then you get on the plane and you get to maybe your first stop and the people get off and you end up at the gate with the same people that you thought might be going to convention. And at the gate, you start to see other people wearing Y swag, like they're carrying Kudos bags or they have on, Unique branded t-shirts or sweatshirts or, ask me about my lashes. So this really interesting thing starts to happen where you start making friends with awesome Y sisters in the airport. And it has happened to me every time I have ever traveled anywhere for a Unique function, where you just randomly end up on the same plane as people who are going for what you're going. And it's like having Insta friends. On the way to convention last year, Cindy Cisco and I met up at our second location, and I can't remember where it was. San Francisco, maybe? Or our first layover. And we ended up running into my friend Stacy Culver from Coos Bay that I met on the cruise to Jamaica. And about 20 other Unique girls. Some were from Portland, some were from all over. And it was super awesome. We took a whole bunch of group pictures with this giant group of ladies that we just met in the airport. Super fun, okay? Hey, Kaylee. So that's the first thing. You're on your way and you start running into other Y sisters and it's super fun. And if you ever find yourself on an airplane with a bunch of Y sisters and y'all kind of look like you're going to the same place, the airplane people will ask you what you're doing. And they'll announce it sometimes over the loudspeakers, and then it just becomes a party, right? Everybody on board is going to the Unique convention. So you get there. Same thing happens in the airport when you arrive in your destination city, where you see Unique people everywhere and you're saying hello to everyone, and it's instantly like you have a whole city full of new friends. And you get on the bus or the Uber or wherever and you're going to convention, and they take you to the hotel. And this is one of the reasons why I always go a day early. The first year I went to convention in Chicago, when we got to the hotel, it was really obvious that the hotel part of the convention center in Chicago, the hotel and the convention center were attached, that they were not prepared for the onslaught of awesomeness that landed in their lobby. The line was wrapped around the building, and I'm not exaggerating. Ashley and Carolyn and Cindy Cisco, they can all attest to that. Cammie was smart. She went a day early, and that was when I decided in that very moment I was never going to anything like this ever again without going a day early. So there's that. So you get there, you get checked in, and then you go and find a registration booth at the convention center. And what you're immediately going to be struck with is all of the super awesome, they uniqueify the convention center. Like everywhere you look, there are giant banners and giant posters and things you can stand in front of to get your picture taken. Like there was at Empower You, if you've seen those photos. They have the giant word Unique, usually in some form that you can pose your whole team around. Stunningly beautiful. Every elevator is decked out. Every signboard, really, really cool. Stickers on the floor, sometimes lighted fixtures that shine, our logo down. I mean, so many photo ops, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of all of those because your customers will really like to see that you're attending an event like this. It shows that you're taking your business seriously. So you get checked in. you go to the registration booth at the convention center, and typically your hotel is going to be right next door. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Registration is open in the evening, the night before, and then it's open all day before the first session starts. And so you walk in to the first general session, and the lights are dim, and there are strobe lights, and there are like rock concert lights going off everywhere. There's usually a DJ who is getting everybody like super pumped up, and you're trying to get, find a seat for everyone to sit together, and it's total chaos, and it's really awesome. And you're standing on your chair and you're waving to all your friends who are coming in. Hey, Carolyn. Carolyn has been, she knows. And it is super fun. And they're doing kind of a countdown like, hey, 10 minutes till convention starts. And everybody is just beside themselves, like dancing in the aisles. You're seeing people that you've met at other unique conventions. You're meeting people that you have only ever known online. It is surreal, okay? And then it starts. And typically it's like DJ dude or, MC of the convention who gets up on stage and is like, hey, how's everybody doing? And the whole place loses it, right? Because it's amazing. You're so stoked. I forgot to tell you that you get like a swag bag full of stuff when you register that so far, and I can't promise you what will be in it, but it's like pens and notebooks that have like the convention logo on it and stuff. So you've got your swag, right? You're ready to take notes, but it's so exciting. Like you can barely stay in your seat. So then Tori will come up and say, hey, and then she'll introduce Derek and Melanie, and just like being in the same room with Derek and Melanie is completely off the chain. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Erin. I'm just talking about what happens actually physically when you go to convention while I'm waiting for people to log in. So the opening session and all general sessions start like this, with this just like super high, amazing energy that you just feel super proud to be a part of, okay? The swag is completely amazing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the swag in a little bit because it's part of why I think everyone should go. But what do you get out of the opening sessions and the general sessions? So like I said, it's like a rock show, right? Like super exciting, loud music. They give you a show and it's awesome. Hey, Amanda. Hi, Sandy. So what else do you get? Well, it's during those general sessions where they start telling us about the new products. They talk to you about news from corporate. You get to hear about new markets. They tell you about trends in the industry. Thanks, I got it cut today. I really like it. Where was I? They tell you numbers. They tell you about best-selling products. So convention this year is August 3rd through August 5th. It's 3 days, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we're going to get to that here in just a second because I have a very important task for each of you to do while you're watching this. So during those general sessions, you're going to hear about the Unique Foundation. And there's tons of surprises, right? Like new products. Last year, about a week before convention happened, we found out that we were having a surprise concert by One Republic. What? They're awesome. It was so cool. So that happened at like an evening social event thing at the end of session. Like we all came back at a certain time to see the show. It was amazing. Last year, during the conversation about the Unique Foundation, surprise, surprise, out comes Rachel Platten to perform a couple of songs, and we're all bawling our eyes out to the fight song, right? Amazing. Super duper awesome. Another really cool surprise we got last year was we had the opportunity to participate in a world record attempt for most simultaneously taken self-portraits, is what they called it. They didn't use the word selfie, which was really funny. They had an actual guy from Guinness. They had people in orange vests standing at the end of every aisle. And it was literally like there were 3 rules. You had to have your face in the picture, part of your arm, and it had to be just you, okay? And he said, 1, 2, 3, go. And you took as many selfies as you could in 5 seconds. And then you quickly picked your favorite one and you held it up. And then a counter came down every aisle to make sure that every selfie qualified. And at the end of it, we totally did it. We broke a world record for most simultaneously taken selfies. Yeah, we totally did. I don't know for sure, but I heard that the record was broken shortly after we did it. So it wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we attempted it again. That was so much fun, okay? If you go on Instagram and you put in the hashtag start defending, you'll see those. Your husband was a counter. See? It was so awesome to be a part of that. Like, so awesome. And then, of course, Unique made a $10,000 donation to a local organization that was basically had the same sort of cause as the Unique Foundation, you know, helping victims of sexual assault. So it was totally awesome. Okay, so that is just what you get in the general sessions. Okay, in addition to that, at the end of a session where they announce a new product, and it happened a couple of times this last year, where they would announce a new product and you'd think they were done announcing products, and then boom, at the next one, they'd be like, oh, there's another new product. What did we get last year? We got the full size container of the mask. We got the sample box of all the different skincare. We got a splash liquid lipstick. It was amazing. Absolutely incredible. Was last year the year that we got the Defend Innocence collection too? It was going to be like a kudos deal and they gave it to us. Anyways, tons of product. Last year, everybody did the math, and the swag and free product that we got was way more than the dollar value of the price you paid for your convention ticket. We got palette 4. Okay, so that's the morning sessions and the general sessions, all right? After that, you have the afternoons, right? You break, you go to lunch. Then the afternoon is classes. And last year they did this really awesome thing that I'm sure they're going to do again, where there was an app. Like, you go online and register for your classes like you're registering to go to college. And you pick your classes. And I encourage you, if you're going or if you have several people from your team going, that you work together to take different classes so that you get as much out of convention as possible. Because obviously you're going to share your notes, right? There are classes on literally every topic you could possibly imagine. Last year I took classes on parties, social media savvy, sponsoring, life balance. There were classes about the foundation. There were new product training classes where they would have makeup artists show you how to put the stuff on. There were classes about personal development. There was mind, body, spirit, health type classes. Literally any area of your business that you are struggling in, there will be a class that will help you at convention. And the classes are not taught by strangers. They're not just like these talking head people that they hired off the street to come in and preach to you about the right way to do things. These classes are taught by the people that do what we do in our company, other presenters who have excelled in the area that they're teaching you about, right? So you don't go and take a social media savvy class from someone who's never been on Instagram, right? You take your social media savvy class from Brittany Kaplan, the queen of Instagram, okay? You take a parties class from Cara Lewis Newton, the queen of parties. These classes are so focused and so drilled down. I can only imagine that they're going to even get better. So, the classes are absolutely incredible. And then obviously, like I said, you're going to want to compare notes with people because not everybody takes the same classes. And I encourage you not to take the same classes that everybody else is taking. Let's all try to get as much as we can, okay? Then in the evenings, there are social events. And so you'll usually have at least one night free to yourself. But one night will be like Saturday night. The last night is when they do like the awards gala, and it's kind of dress up. It's not like officially you have to dress up. Yeah, Karen and I took that class together with Brittany Kaplan, and it was awesome. She looked so cute. She had on the prettiest dress. So there was the concert one night that we went to that was really fun. And then there was the gala night where you get kind of gussied up and you go and see people get awards. It's totally inspiring to see these women that you know, that you've met. A bunch of the girls that I went to Unified with got introduced as Black Status presenters and won awards. It was super inspiring. And then there's a night that you'll have for free where typically Cammie will do a social event for us on her team. Last year, she paired up with a couple of other Black Status leaders, and we had this really cool like underground speakeasy that we went to where we had a catered dinner. There's an additional cost for that out of your pocket, but it includes dinner, and so it's totally worth it. Plus, it's really fun to get together with the people that you know from Team Benjamin Dolls or from Lashaholics, right? In some city where you're at. The year before that, we had like these limo party buses, and we went all around Chicago. It was really, really fun. I'm pulling for a dinner cruise this year. We'll see. Okay. Let's get into the peas and carrots, the nuts and bolts. How do you get to convention, okay? Here's my number one best tip for how you can go to convention, okay? Number one thing you absolutely have to do, and this is where the task comes into play. And some of you are not going to be able to do this right now because I know you're watching on your phones, but you can write it down and do it when we get off the air and then post proof that you did it in the comments. And we've done this a few times, and I bet Carolyn can see this coming. So number one is to set your intention. You need to decide right now if you're going to go to convention or not. And this might be applying to this year for you. It could be applying to next year. I'm going to talk about that in a second also. But you can't do anything unless you decide to make it happen. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell people that you're going to convention. I want you to put it out in the universe. I want you to talk about it on Facebook. I want you to tell your mom. I want you to tell your best friend. But here's the task I want you to do as soon as you are physically able to do so. Get out your calendar, whether it's on your phone or whether you have a purple planner or any kind of planner, whatever your calendar is that you keep track of your life and your business. I'm going to talk about that too, Kaylee, so hang with me there for a second. I want you to put convention on your calendar. And this is the first thing that I want you to stop for a second and check yourself, okay? And when I say check yourself, I mean that in the nicest way, but 90% of the time, we defeat ourselves from any goal before we're even out of the gate. And you can think that that's cheesy, and you can think that Brandy's being ridiculous. That's fine. Until you get enough personal development that you really understand how this works, I don't expect you to completely take me seriously, but I would like you to trust me on this issue. You will defeat yourself by letting that little voice that was like, maybe I can. I don't know if I can. I can't afford it. Try your hardest to shut that down right now. And I know that that's happening in your head as you're hearing me talk about this, okay? Ignore it. Go to your calendar, write unique convention August 3rd through 5th, whether it's on paper or it's on your telephone calendar. Put convention on your calendar, okay? Then, as an added bonus, go to next August and put down convention for the first week of August next year. I don't know the exact dates yet. We'll learn that at convention this year, but it will likely be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first weekend in August, because that's how it's been thus far, okay? So that's task number one, and I totally understand that it's really hard not to listen to that little voice in your head that's going, no way, there's no way I can do this. It's too expensive. I just don't have the money right now. I understand. Ignore that for now. Put convention on your calendar, okay? You have to consciously recognize that when it's happening in order for you to ever be able to put a stop to it. And so that's the first step in retraining your brain to have this nonstop positive thinking all the time. Recognize it when it starts happening, okay? Instead of focusing on what you can't afford or you can't do or any of that, try to visualize how freaking awesome and exciting it will be to be at convention. Think about the rock star moments. Think about the loud music. Jump up and down thinking about the new products. Like really make an effort to focus on the positives of what could be instead of the negatives of what could be, okay? All right. I need you to really see it and feel it. There are so many inspiring stories that you're going to hear, whether it's during those general sessions, during the awards gala, during your classes. You're going to be blown away by the women who are just exactly like you, who have overcome obstacles that are bigger and badder than anything that you've ever even had to deal with, and they've managed to find success, okay? So try really, really hard. And remember that you create your reality with your thoughts and your words and your actions, okay? So don't focus on what you might not be able to do right now. Try to focus on the positives, okay? Step number 2 is take action. Now, you've already taken action when you put that on your calendar, okay? The first thing you need to do is start with a budget. And this is one of those moments where you're gonna run into that little voice, okay? Because we're gonna start talking about money. I'm gonna walk you through a convention budget, and I am going to estimate everything on the highest possible end, okay? So if at any point you think that I have not thought of enough money, put down the highest amount you can possibly think of, because this is the part where I want you to see how much money you can save by taking the couple of tips I'm going to give you here in a few minutes and putting them into play. So we're going to need your pen and paper, and I'm going to want you to estimate high, okay? We're going to talk about how to save money on these categories a little bit later, but first I need you to really understand what you need to pay for to get to convention, okay? The first thing you're going to need to pay for is a convention ticket. Okay, what do you get for your convention ticket? You get attendance to convention. That's it. It doesn't include your hotel. It doesn't include your airfare. It doesn't include food unless for some reason there is a meal included. The year that I went to convention in Chicago, there was one meal included at a gala dinner, and that was it, okay? There were some snacks here and there, but last year none of the food was included at all. So you need a convention ticket. The highest amount you'll ever pay for a convention ticket is $299. So that's what I want you to put down in your convention ticket column as far as cost goes, okay? Number two, I have to sit back in my chair. I might sink. I'll adjust as necessary, but this chair is awful. All right, number two, the second thing you need to pay for is your airfare. Last Friday, I got online just to mess around and check to see about airfare. And from Eugene to New Orleans, I keep wanting to say St. Louis, that was last year. It was from $550 to $700 round trip. Now, some of you might find better deals than that by going out of Portland or whatever airport is closest to you, or a couple miles away or whatever. But I want you to estimate high, right? So if you were going to book last Friday, it would be $700. So put $700 down in the airfare column. And again, we're going to talk about saving money in a minute, all right? Number three is your hotel. Unique makes blocks of rooms available that are right around $179 a night, but you have to also think about taxes. So what I want you to estimate is $200 a night. Again, we're estimating high for however many nights you're going to stay. I would say at least 4, because you're going to be there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. You could leave on Sunday. We're going to talk about the days you can stay in a minute, okay? So again, I just want you to estimate high right now. And this is one of those places where I want you to check yourself, okay? Hey, Amanda, check your little voice, okay? It's okay. You can go back and watch this. We're working on a budget right now for convention, and we're estimating everything really high so I can show you where the money savings happens later, okay? And it's really, really, really important that you check yourself when you hear those negative thoughts. So I tell you $200 a night for a hotel room. I fully expect that that little voice in your head is going, no way, Brandy, that's ridiculous. Why would I pay that? I can't afford that. You must be rich if you can afford that. Okay, all that kind of negative chatter, that's what I want you to recognize. It's totally normal, okay? That's your relationship with money talking, right? That's the difference between having a scarcity attitude about money and an abundance attitude about money. We're going to talk about savings in a second, okay? But I just want you to take a second and recognize those negative thoughts when they're happening, okay? The fourth thing I want you to write down that you want to budget in is the team social event that will probably happen with Cammie. It's not planned yet, but I expect that to be announced anytime, okay? The 2 previous years that I've gone, I think I paid $50. But I'm going to encourage you to budget $100 for that just in case. I have no idea what it's going to be and no idea what it's going to cost. But again, I want you to budget high and save money later, okay? I'm really pulling for a riverboat dinner cruise. Last year it included dinner. Again, I don't know what it's going to be, but I just want you to aim high on this one, okay? Fifth thing you're going to write down on your budget is transportation. Not airfare, but transportation to and from the airport, cabs or Ubers or whatever to get you around if you're going to pay for a shuttle. I would write down $50, and that's assuming that you're going to probably share cab rides and Ubers and stuff like that, okay? So estimate high, $50. Usually you can get a round trip shuttle ticket for $25 to $30 from the airport. So if that's all you're going to buy and you're going to walk, that's fine, but put down $50, all right? Number 6 on your budget is food and drink. I always wish that I had estimated more a day for food and drink because maybe I spend money frivolously. I don't know. If I see something I want, I buy it. All right. Food and drink, put down $50 to $100 a day. I would say estimate high. Maybe you have other ideas. We're going to talk about money in a second, but depending on your dietary preferences, food can be a big expense. I get that, okay? Check yourself. Convention centers usually have a lot of food options, like little food court type things, that range in value, like from fast food prices up to restaurant bar prices. Everything is always going to be a little bit more expensive around a convention center because they know they can charge you. So just be aware of that, okay? And the last thing I want you to put on your budget is what I called random spending money. And I didn't put down any amount of money for that on this. But again, I want you to aim high, estimate high. Keep in mind, you're going to get a ton of unique swag. There's going to be like a notebook, usually pens, stuff like that. But there's also going to be a unique boutique, which I'm sure a lot of you saw last year. And there's tons of cute stuff that you might want to buy for yourself, or someone on your team might give you money to buy them something. So keep that in mind. And they'll have exclusive stuff you won't be able to get anywhere else. So I totally understand the desire to spend money in the unique boutique, but you need a budget for that. And you might want to have extra adventures in the city. I always do have extra adventures in the city. I go a day early and stay a day late on purpose because I want to fully experience everything I can in a new city, especially somewhere awesome like New Orleans, okay? So if you estimated high on every category, you should be right around the $2,200 mark. Are you getting that right now? When I say convention could cost you $2,200, what's happening in your brain pan right now? You're going, oh, that's way too much. There's no possible way I can do that. Recognize, shut it down. Instead of focusing on the dollar amount, focus on the joy, okay? Because I'm going to save you a ton of money in this next section, like a grip of money. You're going to be so excited. It's like convention on fire sale, okay? Number 1, look for a convention ticket, okay? Hey, Lindsay, we're just going through a budget and we've estimated everything really high. And on the high end of going to convention, we are at $2,200 and people are doing the like negative self-talk thing in their brains right now. I can hear it. I can hear it from here. But this is the part where we're going to start talking about how to save a ton of money so that you get to convention on a budget, how to make it cheaper for you, okay? I'm feeling totally Madonna with this pink lipstick on my mole showing. I have facial today, so my makeup's kind of all... I digress. Number 1, look for a discounted convention ticket, okay? So every year at convention, when they announce where the new convention is going to be held the next year, they put on a discounted convention ticket price, and it's usually good until the end of convention. Like they'll give you a couple of days or something to buy it. And if you're at convention, you can buy it. But if you're watching from home or you're following along from home, you can buy it too. They open it up to everybody because they want to make sure as many people as possible can go to convention, okay? So last year in St. Louis, the cheap ticket price when they announced it was $199. Most of us snatched that up, okay? A lot of people who knew they were going to go snatched that up. And here's what I want to say about buying your convention ticket. The moment that you click submit payment and you buy your convention ticket, you have literally altered your future. You have said, future, I am going to convention, and you automatically set your intention, okay? Whether your brain has totally caught up with the idea or not, you are going to convention. You have a ticket now, all right? So it's $199. I don't know what they call it, like super duper convention price, early bird. Okay, so then there's an early bird price. So after convention this last year and the year before, it went to $249. And now it's $299. So they give you windows of time to get it cheaper, and then the full price is what it is. It's $299. However, every year, tons of people buy convention tickets, and life happens, and they end up not being able to go. Like I said, I always buy mine during convention. I encourage you to do the same. Sometimes on a bad day, I'm gonna get real with you right now. On a bad day, sometimes the thing that keeps me going is knowing that I paid $199 for that convention ticket, and I better buck up because I'm going to convention. Like, for real. When you have that to look forward to, hi Shabli, when you have that to look forward to, and you know it's on the calendar because you paid for it, you've committed to something. You've made a promise to yourself that you're going to convention. It helps you to keep going. And I know it's silly, but it helps me to keep going to know that I've purchased a convention ticket, okay? There's a bunch of ways you can get your hands on a discounted ticket. Start asking around. And now is the time that this kind of stuff is going to start coming up. You're going to see convention threads in every unique related group that you're in, right? Hey, Norma. You're going to see convention threads in Team Benjamin Dolls, and you're going to see convention threads in Lashaholics and in our chats and on the pop page. It's going to be all over the place. And actually, I already know where there's one going on, thanks to Selena, who is looking for a discounted ticket herself. And often, people will sell you their ticket for what they bought it for. So if they bought it for $199 and then got pregnant with triplets and there was no way they could possibly come to convention, they're going to sell it to you for $199. When it gets close to convention, they'll often sell it to you for even cheaper than that because they just want to get some of their money back. Now, this is really, really important, so pay attention. You need to protect yourself. Be careful because there are scammers. I've already seen one going around where a girl is promising convention ticket to people and they pay her and then she's in the wind and nobody gets their convention ticket. If you buy a convention ticket, hey girl, if you buy a convention ticket from someone, you need to contact corporate about transferring it to your name. So just be really careful, have some good conversations with the person, check out their Facebook page, just be aware, protect yourself. My facial gave me lopsided eyebrows. I'm okay with it. Okay. That's convention tickets, okay? So hopefully you're going to save about $100 right there on your convention ticket or more, depending on how brave you are. Last year, so many people couldn't go. So many tickets reopened that in late July, so maybe a week or two before convention, they were talking about how more convention tickets were available on the website. So just keep an eye out. Number 2, let's save you some money on airfare. If you don't want to pay for airfare at all, guess what? You don't have to. You could drive there. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's not impossible. With enough people, you could totally do it. I Googled it for you. It's 38 hours from Eugene to New Orleans, in case you're curious. That would be a super fun road trip. And I'm here to tell you that if it's ever in Seattle or San Fran, I'm totally driving. So y'all are welcome in my Caravan or my Jeep. Okay, so rumor has it, and this is what the interwebs will tell you if you go looking for it. The best time to book an airplane ticket is roughly 6 weeks from the date that you want to travel on a Tuesday or a Wednesday in the afternoon. Okay, so keep that in mind. Every time you go online, whether it's on your phone or on your computer to search for airfare, you need to remember to clear your cookies. Clear your internet browsing history, clear your cache. Why? Because those websites know that you've been there before and they know that they've already given you a price and they're not going to give you that price again because they want you to know you should have bought it last time. Clear your cookies. If you don't know how to do that, Google it, University of Google. Trust me, this is a real thing and it works. Start asking around for air miles. Check your voice. You know somebody, I guarantee you know somebody who travels for work or just travels a ton and they have a ton of air miles. I have a friend, yes, search it in, like on my phone, it's called an incognito tab. But whatever is on your phone or your device, do that because they know that you've been there before and you've been pricing out tickets for a year and they want to try to make you pay more. You have a friend or a family member who travels a lot for work and has this giant stash of air miles that they're not using for whatever reason. My friend who has sold me air miles literally said to me she would rather pay full price for airplane tickets to maintain her travel status with the airlines. I think it's platinum status she has with United. I can't remember what it's called exactly. But she's getting reimbursed for those plane tickets from her work anyway. So she would much rather pay full price, get reimbursed, and maintain her status so she can get those first class upgrades and she can get priority boarding and all those stuff, all those things, okay? Yeah, there's a ton of websites out there where you can save money on airplane tickets. Just, buy from a reputable source. So start asking your friends and family about air miles. And here's what I do. My friend's name is Raylene, and twice now I have saved oodles of money on my vacation plane tickets to Maui. This time, we worked out a deal where I paid her, I wrote her a check, and what she ended up doing was she booked Tyler and I round trip out of Eugene and saved me over $800 total. It was gonna be over $700 per ticket. Hey, Brenda. It was gonna be over $700 per ticket. And she got both of our tickets round trip for $600 total. That's what I paid her, okay? So that's a win-win, right? She has $600 she didn't have before. I saved over $800 on airfare. She gets to keep paying out of pocket and getting reimbursed. She's not going to use those air miles anyway. She literally said, anytime you want to do that, hit me up. So guess what? I already hit her up about convention, and we're in the process of working that out. I estimate I'm going to pay about $250 for my plane ticket, but we'll see. Could be less, could be free. You never know. If you know somebody that has all those air miles sitting up, sometimes people just have like air miles credit cards where they're racking them up, but they're not traveling on them. Ask around. You will be surprised what people have that you don't know about. Put it on Facebook. Go on Facebook and make a Facebook status that says, hey, I'm looking for somebody that has a stash of air miles that they might want to barter for. You'll be blown away by the responses you get. Trust me. Okay. Negotiate with them. Offer to trade. If you have something that they might need, for instance, for me, I would offer to trade nail services. I could offer to trade makeup, right? Because I have a whole bunch of Y-Cash saved up. Maybe there's some stuff that they want. They have something I need. We can work it out. Number 3, saving money on hotels. Okay, this is a really big one. Now, I personally don't want 10 people in my hotel room, but you can do that. I always have one roommate. Her name is Ashley. You might know her. Her and I travel really well together. And we just pretty much have this agreement that we're going to be roommates unless one of us isn't going, then we work something out. That automatically cuts your hotel room expenses in half if it's one person. If it's 4 people, it cuts your hotel expenses down a lot more. And often you can get 2 queen beds and just share. Ashley and I've shared. It's not that weird. It's worth it to save the money. It makes it so much more affordable to go on these trips. Your $200 a night expense for hotel rooms can very easily become $50 a night. And often one of those people will just put the reservation on a credit card and you can give them cash on the day you get there. However you're going to work it out, okay? Same thing. There will be all sorts of threads going on in our convention groups and our business groups about finding roommates. So if you're looking for roommates, let's chat. Let's see. Another thing you can do is Unique reserves blocks of rooms in like the 2 or 3 closest hotels. And I always jump on the minute they're available and book one in the closest hotel. But there's no reason why you can't stay a mile away and walk, stay 6 blocks away and walk. Maybe you stay a little further away to save a ton of money and take an Uber to the convention center every morning. It's not the most convenient thing, but if your concern is saving money and having convenience or making it so that you can go to convention, then maybe doing that once a day is not that big of a deal. Often you're going to find people that are staying at the same hotel with you that will be willing to share transportation costs. So you take a shoulder bag, you fill it up with snacks, and you come to the convention center once a day, and then you go back at the end of the day. Easy peasy. Carolyn can talk about that. She stayed a little short walk away last time. And we all know people who've done that. Let's see. Same thing with air miles. A lot of people have points with, say, Marriott. They have Marriott points. Now, they won't be able to use those points for you on rooms that Unique has already reserved as the convention block of rooms, but there's no reason why they can't use those points on you at a different hotel or at that same hotel, just in a different block of rooms. So ask around about what people have. Everybody that I know that travels a lot flies the same airline all the time to get the miles, and they stay at the same hotel chain every time to get the points. All right. So there's that. Number 4, the social event is totally optional. If you can't find it in your budget to spend 50 or $100 or however much it is to come and hang out with us at whatever event that Cami puts together, that's not the end of the world, okay? You're gonna have plenty of time to meet up with your pals for lunches and dinners. You can meet up at classes and hallways. There's breaks. In the evenings, you can get together in each other's hotel rooms, okay? There's always going to be other options besides the one specific social event. So don't feel like you absolutely have to go to that. Obviously, we really, really, really want you to come to that because we want to see you and spend time with you. But if the $50 to $100 cost or whatever it is the make it or break it thing that keeps you from going to convention, then by all means, don't go to the social event, okay? Totally optional. Number 5, transportation. Walking is totally free. However, I want to point out to you that we are going to New Orleans the first week of August. It's going to be hot and it's going to be humid, okay? Uber or Lyft are both really, really great ways to save money on transportation. When a bunch of us went to Las Vegas for the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing Conference that happened in March, the cost of an Uber ride from the airport was less than half the cost of a cab ride. Ashley paid $30 for her cab ride. Cindy Cisco and I paid $13 and change for our Uber. Plus tip. But the first time you ride, they'll usually give you like a little coupon code. So you can get your first ride totally for free, like it credits you back the money. Same thing for Lyft. In Vegas, there were people on the street handing out Lyft coupons like crazy. Sharing is caring. Share your cabs. Share your Ubers. At the airport, you will run into other people who are looking for a ride to the convention center. Trust me. You can do it. Number 6, a really good way to save on food and drinks. Many good ways, okay? There's going to be dollar menus. First of all, you don't have to eat 5-star the whole time you're there. Number 2, you could do a grocery run, especially if you're going to get there the day before it starts. Maybe it's even just walking to a convenience store that would be cheaper to stock up on snacks than it would be to eat out at every meal. Get yourself some fruit, get yourself some granola bars. Maybe you pack granola bars and snacks and nuts and things from home and take them to convention. Make yourself little snack packs every morning. Last year in St. Louis, my room was super duper awesome. Every room in that hotel was a suite, so it had a fridge. But did you know that if there's not a fridge in your room, you can call down to the desk and ask for a medical fridge for like your breast milk or your diabetes medication? They're not technically supposed to ask you what it's for. So that's an option. Put stuff in a fridge. If you do go out for dinners or lunches, save your leftovers. Maybe order your meal and order a little something extra on the side so that you can make that food stretch for another meal. I've done that before. We had such amazing leftovers from that barbecue place in St. Louis. Erin, what was that called? Oh my gosh, Erin and I up in our room like eating. Oh, it was so good. Okay, random spending cash. You don't have to buy souvenirs. Trust me, you are going to get... Yeah, you can eat off the sides menu. See, this is what I want. I want you guys, if I say something that makes you think, yeah, you can eat off the sides menu. Lindsay has dietary restrictions big time. And she manages to eat off the side menus. Vegas lunch costs $5.50. That's amazing. That's practically free in Vegas. Anything less than $10 in Vegas is practically free. You are not going to need to buy a lot of unique stuff, okay? If you want to, great. If you want to spend money in the unique boutique, do that. But they're going to give you a lot of stuff. I have notebooks, pens, tablets, tissues, all kinds of things you can imagine with the unique logo on it. It is really fun to shop at the unique boutique. So if you can, I encourage you at least go in there and look, even if you're on a budget. So with all these other numbers, if you add up all the numbers that I estimated for myself, I'm down to closer to $1,500. So that's a pretty big savings just doing all that stuff, okay? And we haven't even talked about how to earn the money to get there yet. I have that for you too. So let's work on that. You can save more money than me too by having more roommates. I only want one roommate because I like peace and quiet. At the end of the day, I like to go back to my room and go through my notes and write down all the ideas I have for the things I want to post about and share with my team. It's how I keep it all up here. All right, let's talk about affording all of it. Now that you can see the big picture, how are you actually going to make it happen? Okay, I want you to really hear this. Eric Worre tells us this every time we listen to him talk. He says the very best thing that you can do to guarantee success for yourself and your team in your business is to get yourself and as many people on your team to your own company's convention. And for us, that means going to the Unique Convention in New Orleans. Write this down. Every single penny that you spend to get yourself there, stay there, eat there is 100% tax write-off. Okay? It's a business expense. And trust me when I say being self-employed and having a giant sum to write off at the end of the year is a good thing because nobody wants to pay too much taxes. My best suggestion for how you should pay for this trip is to put it all on a credit card. Did you hear what I just said? I said put it all on a credit card and everybody went, oh, she did not say that, oh my gosh. And your little voice is going, oh my God, Brandy, don't tell me I just sat through 40 minutes or however long we've been on here. So you could tell me to put it on a credit card. Check yourself. Check your little voice because I'm not going to leave it there, okay? Here's some benefits to putting it on a credit card. Stay with me. That number better not drop. Hopefully you're using a miles card that you're going to use miles on for future trips or points, okay? The reason why I want you to at least go as soon as you can and buy yourself a convention ticket is because of what I said. It literally changes the future. You make the commitment, you buy that ticket, you've changed your future. For me, I have one credit card and that's literally all I do with it. I put all my travel expenses on it and I make big payments on it every month. So I never max it out. It's always manageable. I have an excellent credit score because I put these big amounts on and then I make these huge payments on it every month. I save all the cash I get in my nail business and make credit card payments. Like really, that's how I finance all my travel. Coming up with a minimum payment, which I never recommend you to make a minimum payment, is going to be a heck of a lot easier for you to do than it is to come up with the whole shebang, okay, right out of the gate. And I know that not everybody has a credit card or available balance to do that, okay? And I also know that some of you are just going to drag your heels, dig them right into the dirt, and just say, no freaking way am I putting convention on a credit card, okay? This next part's for you. Here's some more ideas. I want you to prioritize. Get that ticket to convention purchased first. Whatever you got to do to come up with the $199 to $299, whatever it's going to cost you, get that ticket first. Then book your hotel, then book your airfare. The hotel rooms that are near the convention center are going to fill up fast. On my website, it still said there were rooms available when I checked 2 days ago when I decided to do this live. So they're still there. So go and reserve one. It doesn't cost you anything or much, I should say, to reserve a room. You have until the 15th, which is right around the corner, to cancel. They charge you for one night. So if you're going to book it with a credit card, they're going to charge you for one night, and then they'll charge you the remainder at checkout usually. All right. Your unique business gives you unlimited income potential. So I don't want to hear anybody say there's no possible way I can come up with that money, because when you have a unique business and I'm trying to tell you how you can come up with $1,500 to $2,200 in the next 12 weeks to get yourself to convention, that's a really small amount compared to what is potentially available to you with regard to your earnings, okay? You have an unlimited earning potential with this business. The only limit you have on how much money you can earn between now and convention is how hard you want to work for it. So if you've decided that you really want to go to convention, there is literally nothing that can stop you from making that happen if you're willing to do the work to get there. So what do you need to earn $2,000? If you are yellow status or higher, you need $8,000 in PRS, which sounds like a lot. But you need to check that little voice, right? Because Cara Lewis Newton is nothing. It's nothing for her to do $5,000 in a week. 7 days. She does that regularly. On our team, on Team Benjamin Dolls, Rhonda White earned the Punta Cana trip in 1 month during the double points month. She had almost $13,000 in PRS in the month of March. In 1 month, not in 12 weeks, in 1 month. $13,000 in PRS. You do the math. Multiply that by 25% and see how much it is. It's more than enough money for you to go to convention, okay? And we just got an announcement today about double party points, didn't we? Book, sell, sponsor. It's simple. How many mascaras is $8,000 in PRS? Well, I did the math for you. It's 276 mascaras to have $8,000 in PRS. Or 38 full Flourish collections, which to me, that's a lot more manageable. I could sell 38 full Flourish collections, especially with those double party points, right? How many of your loved ones would want to help you by having a double points party if they knew how badly you wanted to go to convention? Okay? Ask people they want to help you. They really, really love you. They really want to help you. How about this? Have you considered selling stuff? I don't want to sell any of my stuff, Brandy. Gosh, what are you even talking about? Have a yard sale. Ask your friends and family to bring stuff that they're just going to donate anyway over to your yard sale. Check out some buy and sell groups. Sell your old CDs and video games. What are you stashing that's valuable that you're holding on to because it has sentimental value? You're not going to lose any of those memories or any of that sentimental value by using those items to further your life and your business. I have some of those things in my safe, jewelry that I've inherited that I'm never going to wear. But there it sits. Unlimited potential. Coins, comic books, antiques, collectibles, clothing, handbags, shoes, jewelry, furniture, books. You have tons of stuff that you're dying to get rid of that's a total cash cow. Just delve in. How about an on-hand flash sale for the product, your unique products that you already have on hand? There are apps. OfferUp is a thing. Craigslist. How about collecting bottles and cans? In Oregon, there's now a 10-cent deposit on bottles and cans. Okay? Do that. If you're having the obstacle of a husband or a partner who isn't really interested in you spending the money to go on this trip, I would like you to consider bringing them. Oh, Brandy, he's never going to want to go. That sounds really ridiculous. What's he going to do? Sit in the hotel room the whole time? That's awful. No. Unique is doing husband events now. Last year in St. Louis, they took him to a baseball game. Totally awesome. Let your husband see what this business is doing for you. And how about this? Explain the tax deduction if he has a problem with it. That's going to help a lot. And maybe if you need 4 days to go to convention, maybe offer him 4 days to go do whatever he wants to do. Make sure that he knows that if it's okay for you to go, that it's okay for him to go. I don't have that problem because there is no freaking way that I'm ever going to let anybody in my life tell me what I can and can't do when I've made my mind up. I get that it's hard and you don't want to rock the boat, but it is my life. I choose to live it how I please, and I'm not going to let anybody that I am living with kill my joy. I'm just not. Childcare, okay? That's not an issue that I have to deal with, but a lot of ladies bring their babies to convention, like the little babies. They bring them. You'll see them. You'll hear them. They were at Empower You. What about grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles? What about a childcare swap? You can take someone else's kids for a few days. They can take yours for a few days while you're at convention. You might have to modify your trip to meet your needs. Ashley does that. Ashley comes the morning convention starts instead of the day before, and she leaves the last day of convention after the last session. Easy. You can do that. Get home quicker. Okay, I hope I'm not going to get cut off here. I don't know how long these go. If you go on Google and search for savings plans, there is a 12-week savings plan out there that I found with one search that will show you how to save $1,000. There's a 52-week savings plan that I really, really like, where you put one you make like one deposit into your fund every week. Hey, Aline. And it starts with $1. So the first week you put in $1 and the last week you put in $52. I say go backwards. Start with the $52 and work your way down, because as you've started with the 50s, when you get down into the ones, it's going to be really easy to put 20 in instead of just $1. So if you follow the 52-week savings plan to a T, that's $1,378. But on the backwards method, I think you could do even better. There's a $5 bill savings plan. Every time you come across a $5 bill in your life, put it in your jar for convention, even if it's for next year. Okay, I use an envelope system. Every time I get paid cash, I put it in the envelopes of the things that are important to me that I want to pay for. Some people do it really complex, like Ashley will have several envelopes for convention. She'll have one for every category that we've already gone over. I just have one for convention. So I just put money in that. And I have one for my credit card. I had one for my Maui trip. Now it's convention savings time. Okay, I know it isn't reasonable or practical for everyone to go this year. Okay, so let me just say that. But I don't think that your dreams and your aspirations should be reasonable or practical. I think that your dreams should be big. I think you should quit playing small, and I think you should be as unreasonable and as impractical as you could possibly be. What is the point of practicality in dreaming? There is none. Don't do that. Don't limit yourself to what's practical. You're missing out. A personal experience, in 2014, I joined in May. Ashley joined in April. I joined in May. Together, we watched and were really sad while Cammie went to convention in Dallas. We wished and wished that we had gone. I joined in May. Convention was in August, and I thought, oh, there's no way I can make that happen. I totally sabotaged myself before I even made it possible. Hey, Ash. And I know that Ashley will agree with me, and she'll tell you that that's what happened. Like, we were watching Cammie getting all this free swag and stuff, and we were real jealous that we didn't go on that trip. So don't limit yourself now by thinking you can't do it when you totally can. Of course, all of us that go are going to share all the information that we get with you. We're going to post about it. We're going to give it all to you. But there's no way to recreate the feeling of going to convention unless you go for yourself. You have to go and experience this. We aren't going to be able to give you the experience that you deserve to have just by regurgitating information, okay? So I'm done. I just want you to really believe that you can make this happen if it's something that you really want. If you're just joining us now, I'd really encourage you to go back to the beginning. Because I want you to hear what I had to say about checking the negative voice and understanding the difference between a scarcity attitude about money and an abundance attitude about money, okay? Going to convention is the best possible thing that you can do for your business, and I would love nothing more than to have the entire team there, okay? So that's it. If you have any questions, please comment or message me directly. I'd be happy to help you work out how to get to convention personally, work out a budget. Let's talk about it, okay? I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you'll go back and watch this from the beginning. I know it's long. Right now in Team Benjamin Dolls, I think Tawny is live talking about parties. So with the double points thing, we should try to catch that if we can, okay? Bye, everybody. Have a good night.